Hi everyone, my name is Matt. Welcome to this quick video on how to film worship videos at home, in particular how to shoot video that you are then going to layer up with other musicians. This is a really amazing way to get multiple people involved at a time where we are unable to meet up with other musicians and play together. Doing this remotely is really helpful. So just a couple of quick tips and tricks that I'm still learning, but might hopefully be of use to you. So first of all, quick word to people who are leading the track, so the worship leaders out there, so just a few points. So first of all, get ready before you record by doing a number of things. The first thing to do is to check that you've got all of your songs ready, but also run through them and make sure that you've got them in the right key. I know it sounds really silly, but we sometimes have leftover PDFs or we've heard a song done in a certain key and so we learn it that way. But actually, if you're the one leading, especially if it's vocally, make sure that you're leading it in a key that's comfortable for you. I've got a very limited vocal range, and so that means that almost all of the songs that I lead are in D or G, based on the style of the song. I just know that that helps me to sing along to it. So find a key that works for you. Maybe check it with your other vocalists as well, but find a key that's good and use that as you move forward. So prepare your songs, prepare your keys, and then go over them. Make sure you know how you want to introduce a song, how you want to run between the verses and choruses, how you want to end the song. This will take the pressure off you when you're recording later on down the line when you have to make that decision on the fly. So make sure you've practiced all your songs. This is basic stuff, I know, but for recording, really, really helpful because we sometimes forget. So practice that stuff. Once you've got all of that together, you're ready to move on to the next step. Okay, so this next bit is about videoing yourself. Now, obviously video is a really important element of this because people enjoy seeing our faces, and it's a really lovely way to encourage others, but also it makes it really easy to layer up the tracks, and it's great seeing everyone interact with each other that way. So when it comes to setting yourself up, you're going to need a few bits of equipment. Now, I've done this the hard way because I have all the equipment, so I've added lots of extra stuff. But for you, it might be as simple as just having a video camera of some description on top of a tripod filming you, and if that's all you've got, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to list off some other things that you can do to help with this experience, and if you don't have that stuff, ask around, get in touch with someone on the tech team and they might be able to help supply you with some of the stuff that you need. So for example, I'm playing this guitar acoustically, and I'll be singing as well, unfortunately for you guys. I don't have a proper mic set up or anything like that at the moment, so what I'm doing is I'm filming on this digital camera. I've got my mic being picked up by a lapel mic. I have got, the only other thing really is I've got a phone just to the side of the camera that's got a directional mic on it, so that's going to probably pick up the guitar a bit better. And then I'm going to use this as a layer for my voice. Now, obviously that's a lot of different channels, a lot of different devices. Not everyone has that, that's fine. And then there's an option for another device later on down the line. But with all of these things, it's about figuring out what's most important for you, talking to the guy who's going to be putting the video together, whichever church you're doing this for, and seeing what they need from you. So which levels do they need, which channels, what's the best way of getting that through. The final bit of equipment I'm going to mention, and this is super, super helpful for videoing songs together with people, is using a metronome. So having a timer or a click track in your ear as you perform the song to camera will help you to stay in a particular rhythm. And this will really help because basically when you're playing with people in person, it's really easy to create a tempo and a rhythm between you and you all agree on it subconsciously and you follow visual cues and a bunch of other stuff and you stay in time and it's a miracle. When you do it on video, it's so much harder for people to stay in time with you. So it's really important that you choose a tempo beforehand. You play that through your ear and then you stick to it during the song. And it just means it will keep you in time and it will make it so much easier later on for everybody else. So for example, I've picked a song, one of my favorites. This is Living by Hillsong, Young and Free. And it's in the key of G because I can't sing the original one. It starts at like a medium and then finishes sky high. So this one starts really low and I'm not very good at singing that bit, but I can do the rest. I'll be having a backup singer, so that will help a lot. So I've picked my key, I know the song, I know the intros and outros, and I've gone onto Google and they've got a metronome. And I found out that I quite like playing this song at 120 beats a minute. So I've gone onto Google and literally typed in metronome. Google has its own thing set up so you can do that. I've adjusted the thing, listened to it and tried to play along, and I found a tempo that I like playing it at. So I'm going to listen to that as I play, and that will help me to stay in time. So I've already mentioned one of the ways that we can work to help other people as we're recording our songs. Here's the other main way. Now, as you're recording, and we send all these videos into the video editor, they're going to need to know where everyone is starting and finishing. Otherwise, actually lining up the tracks can be really, really hard. The quickest way to do this is at the beginning of your video, apart from explaining which song you're doing and which key, possibly, you want to count down from 4 and you want to snap on 0 and ask everyone to do the same thing. What that means is the video editor can then really easily see from the sound waves and the audio form where the videos are all starting, and that will actually, 99 times out of 100 solve all of the syncing issues straight away. So here's one that we did on another video, just so you know what I'm talking about. On the count of 4, I'm going to snap my fingers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the other thing, as we've already mentioned in terms of helping out others, is by using your metronome, but making a note of how many beats a minute that is. Now, depending on who your tech guy is, if they know the beats per minute, they might be able to use a generator online and to actually lay that metronome over your track. And if it works well, that means that other people that are recording would be able to use that metronome in their own songs. The final thing that I want to say when it comes to recording your video is that we want these videos to not be performances, although naturally they are that. We want them to be opportunities for people to meet with God. That's the reason why we're doing this. That's the reason why we're going through all this effort with all the tech, learning all this stuff. We wouldn't do it if we didn't think it wasn't important that people had a genuine opportunity through these songs to meet with God. And so what we want to do is as we hold that in the forefront of our minds as to why we're doing this, we want to make it as easy as possible. And so that means having a prayerful and worshipful spirit and attitude towards what you're doing. So for example, if you're used to praying beforehand, before you start a song, to do that. If you're used to singing out words that are not on the lyric sheet during a song, if there's a moment where that's appropriate, then do that. Feel free with the songs to not do them strictly as a performance, but using your own worship style, what you feel comfortable doing, to lead in that way. We want to be genuine people, we want to be spiritual people, and we want others to really connect to God through what we're doing. Okay, so this second section of the video is for people who are collaborating on worship tracks. So what I'm hoping is that you've received what I would call a base layer track. So that's the original piece of music, from the worship leader or whoever else is involved. And your job now is to listen to that and to play along to it. This can be quite a tricky and daunting thing for people that have not done this before. And if you are, afraid of using technology, it can be daunting, but it's really rewarding when it's done. And I've seen people who hate using their phones and hate using technology give it a go, and they've absolutely loved it. So I would really encourage you to do that. In terms of the technology that you're going to need, you are going to need a device to play that song on. So whether that's your phone or a laptop or a computer, you're going to need some sort of screen nearby you where you can listen to that. The second thing that you're going to need is to have that in your ear. So you want that ideally in your ear, so using earphones so that you can hear it, but whatever's recording you cannot. So you've got a device with the video of the track that you're playing along to in your ear, and you can play it and go along. You can do the snap introduction when you need to. That's thing number one. Thing number two is actually about recording you. Now, this is completely up to you, and it really depends on what you have access to. If you've got access to a number of cameras and recording devices, that's excellent, but not everybody does. So you need to play to your strengths. So ask the person with the best camera in your house to let you borrow it for the duration of this recording. You want to get that thing set up on a tripod, and you want to use all the natural light that you can to make sure that you're framed really well. What we don't want is shaky footage in portrait mode when you've asked your younger brother or other family member to help you film and it's really wobbly. Like we said, we want people to connect with God, not get motion sickness. So keep your priorities straight when you're filming. I am going to put a link in the description to this video to another one that I did about how to shoot good video just generally. So you might want to watch that, and that'll help you set the camera up nicely. When it comes to recording your audio, that's the tricky bit. Now, if all you have is a camera, that's fine. We will use the audio in whatever way we can get our hands on it. That's the important thing. If you have other devices, then we will try and use those. Now, one thing you can do is that certain sets of earphones, and I know that Apple ones come with this and other ones 2 often have a microphone built in. So, for example here. Now what you can do is you can use this microphone to get it closer to you so that you can then, if you're singing or if you've got an instrument that's got a sound coming from a particular place, if that microphone is near it as you record a video, it will pick that audio up. So that's a helpful way to get a microphone. And basically you need to remember that different instruments produce sounds in different ways. And so for me, I've learned that if I have a mic pointing in my general direction, it will pick the guitar up, not my voice. So that's why I'm using a microphone here, as well as one that's pointing at the guitar. But like I said, you have to use whatever equipment you've got, and to not be intimidated by it. So if all you can do is set your phone up on top of a shelf so that it can record you, that's absolutely fine. And we'll use that footage. But if you've got access to microphones and other video cameras and other things like that, then please use those. That'd be awesome. So I'm now going to just quickly show you what an introduction to a bass level track might look like, and then I'll show you what that will look like when it's been produced, and hopefully that's really helpful for you. So this is Living Now by Hillsong Young and Free. So on a computer over there, I've got my Metronome set up. I've got my earphones on an extension so they can reach all the way over here. Here we go. Hi everyone, this is Living Now by Hillsong Young and Free in the key of G, and I'm currently listening to a metronome of 120 beats a minute. I'm going to start by snapping you in, so I'll count down from 4, and please snap with me. That will help me to know when I'm lining these video tracks up where you are. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. Okay, here we go.